Here we have our first number example for calculating elasticity. Imagine you run a small bakery. In March, the price of a cupcake was $2 and you sold 40 cupcakes a day. In April, the price of cupcakes was $3 and you sold 30 per day. We want to think a little bit about how the price change affected consumption in this example and what that means for total revenue. As I mentioned, we will always be calculating elasticity at a certain point along the demand curve. So when we're analyzing these price changes, we'll want to identify the old point and the new point. The old point will always be the point at which we would like to calculate elasticity. And the problems will always be structured so that we move from one point to another point along the demand curve. In this case, we're moving from a price of $2 and a quantity of 40 to a price of $3 and a quantity of 30. Notice here, as with every situation, that as the price increases, the quantity demanded decreases as we move along our downward sloping demand curve. So the first question in this example is what happened to total revenue because of the price change? Did the total revenue increase or decrease as the price increased? So we'll calculate total revenue in March and total revenue in April. Recall that total revenue is just price times quantity. That makes sense. At the end of the day, if I sell 40 cupcakes for $2 each, I will have made $80. Sometimes people ask me if they need to memorize the formulas, and I really encourage you, instead of approaching this as memorization, to try to understand the meaning of the formula, because that will help you not only remember the formula, but how to use it and what it means. So total revenue is just how much money you have from sales. Of course, it is the number of sales times the amount of money you receive per sale, or the price. The total revenue in April will be $3 times 30 sales. So we can see that although the number of sales decreased, the price increase led to an increase in total revenue. So in this case, the increase in price led to an increase in total revenue. What does that tell us about the price elasticity of demand prior to the change? That's part B. Do you think the demand was elastic or inelastic prior to the change in price? The fact that the increase in price led to an increase in total revenue tells me that the decreasing quantity was small relative to the increase in price. Since total revenue increased, we know that the decrease in the quantity demanded was small relative to the increase in price. Therefore, demand for cupcakes was inelastic prior to the price change, or in this case, in March. consumers did not respond very much to a change in price, meaning that we had inelastic demand.